In this video, I'm going to show you how to build up your walls for a clay coil vessel. First, I'm starting with a base that I have already created using a slab of clay, and I'm setting the base on a banding wheel. Any clay I'm not currently using, I'm going to keep in my Ziploc bag so that it doesn't dry out. I'm going to begin by rolling out a smooth coil that is the approximate width of my pinky finger. I'm going to twist the coil to avoid flattening it and gently pull my hands apart as I roll the clay back and forth. When my coil gets long, I'll just break it in half so that it's easier to work with, and I'll continue to roll both coils again until they are the width of my pinky finger. This is also how thick the base slab of my coil vessel already is. Next, I'll attach the coil to the base. When adding on new coils, if I want the vessel to be a cylinder and to go straight up, I'll put the coil right on top of the previous one. If I want it to get more narrow, I'll make it slightly towards the center, and if I want it to get a little bit wider, I'll tilt it out towards the outside edges. Once I know what I want to do, I can then score and slip the clay to attach it. To score the clay, I'll take my tool and roughen up both sides of the attachment points. As you can see here, I'm creating lines that are going to cross each other on both the slab base, and I'll do the same thing on the coil. Once both sides are well scored, I can then apply slip to both attachment points and gently press the pieces together. Next, I'll blend the inside seam using my wooden tool. It's very important to support the wall with your other hand, applying a bit of pressure so that you're pressing in the opposite direction as you're smoothing with the wooden tool. This will help your wall not to collapse. Blend well all the way around, keeping in mind that as your vessel gets taller, it's going to be more and more challenging to work on the lower, most inside portions of your vessel. Once the inside is well blended and smooth, you're ready to create some additional coils and try to move them into some unique designs. You could create zigzags, spirals, braids, twists, whatever you come up with. In fact, there are a lot of resources available that show different kinds of designs you can make with coils. You can also roll out little balls of clay to use for your designs as well, but just make sure that those are the same width as your coils. You wouldn't want to make them any larger because every part of your wall should be the same thickness for a nice, smooth vessel. Remember, the recommended thickness for each of your coils, as well as the total thickness of your clay vessel, is the thickness of your pinky finger. And that's just because if it's any thinner than that, you really can run into your pottery being too fragile and breaking, or if it's thicker than that, you can have trouble with getting the clay to dry and fire properly in the kiln. Now, as you continue to create your clay coil designs, again, you're going to be scoring, slipping, and attaching each piece that you create. And you will attach it directly on to the previously attached coils. Of course, you will then also have to blend again. And what I recommend you do is create a little section, work on one section at a time, maybe work for approximately, let's say 15 minutes, adding clay coil designs to your vessel, and then take a break and work on blending all of those seams. You want to make sure that you blend the seams before the clay begins to dry up at all, because it's a lot easier to blend when the clay is nice and soft. Now, as your vessel gets taller, it's more important to firmly support with the opposite pressure using the hand that's not holding the wooden tool. So you can see here I'm using my right hand index finger on the wooden stick to blend the seams, and my left hand is pressing towards the wooden tool, holding that wall firmly in place. You'll want to continue to carefully blend until smooth. Your outside design should remain clear during this process. And then you can create some more coils and continue to build. attaching each section as you create them, and blending. Creating a clay coil vessel that has substantial height and size takes some time. So whenever you're finished working for your day, you'll want to put your vessel in a place where it will not dry out. You will outgrow your Ziploc bag at some point, but until then, you should store your working clay in the Ziploc bag that already should have your name on it. Any clay you didn't fully use today, just keep in a nice firm ball and just place it in your bag next to your project. But just remember to zip up the bag. You'll also need to wash and return all tools and supplies that you used. I hope this video helps you get started building up the walls for a clay coil vessel. Thanks for watching.